The Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness, nestled in northern Minnesota, is a vast and untouched stretch of rugged terrain. It's a place where endless lakes, thick forests, and solitude reign. Known for its beauty, it also holds a reputation as unforgiving, a place where nature's power can overwhelm even the most seasoned of adventurers. Jordan Grider was no ordinary man. At 29, he had spent more than a decade living off-grid, mastering the challenges of wilderness life. He wasn't just surviving, he was thriving in a way that few could. Born and raised in New Mexico, Jordan embraced a lifestyle of solitude, choosing the woods over city streets. To him, the outdoors wasn't a retreat, but a way of life. In October of 2018, Jordan Grider set out on what he had hoped would be the ultimate test of his skills and spirit. He had chosen the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness in Minnesota to spend the winter in solitude. For Jordan, this was not just an adventure, it was a way of life, a chance to live simply, surrounded by nature. He found a spot overlooking a serene beaver pond, a picturesque setting that seemed almost too perfect. On October 8th, he shared his final message with his family, a photo of the pond accompanied by a reassuring note. He told them that he was well prepared, with stores of grain and beans to see him through the long, harsh months ahead. On the next day, October 9th, a receipt showed he made one last supply run to a nearby store. It was the last trace of him before the wilderness swallowed him whole. What started as a journey of peaceful isolation would soon turn into a chilling mystery, leaving only fragments of clues in its wake. In the days after Jordan Grider vanished into the Boundary Waters, a strange clue emerged. His white truck was discovered parked illegally in front of a private gate near the Sioux Hustler Trail. It blocked access to the area, drawing attention from authorities. The truck was towed to a nearby lot, but at the time, there was little cause for alarm. Jordan was known for his independence, and it wasn't unusual for him to vanish into the wilderness without notice. However, concerns grew when welfare checks were conducted in October of 2018. Despite efforts to locate him, searchers found no trace of Jordan or his campsite. The truck's presence near the trailhead became a puzzling signpost to a much deeper mystery, one that wouldn't fully unfold until months later. 6 months after Jordan Grider disappeared, the first chilling clues of his fate emerged. In April of 2019, Conservation Officer Sean Williams discovered Jordan's remote campsite deep in the Boundary Waters. What he found was both disturbing and perplexing. At the center of the site was a blood-soaked hammock and a sleeping bag, yet no body. A loaded 9mm Beretta pistol lay untouched inside the hammock, and its safety was still on. Nearby, Jordan's personal belongings were scattered, a phone, a wallet with cash, and other items, but nothing pointed to an explanation for what the scene held. The campsite itself showed no visible signs of a struggle. The tarp overhead and the hammock beneath it were intact, as if undisturbed by any chaotic event. Yet, evidence of wolves in the area, tracks and scat, hinted at a potential presence. It was a discovery that raised more questions than answers, casting a shadow of mystery over Jordan's final moments in the wild. As the harsh winter gave way to the spring in late April of 2019, the search for Jordan Grider resumed. With the deep snow finally melting, investigators returned to his remote campsite in hopes of uncovering new clues. What they found only intensified the mystery surrounding his fate. 12 bones were recovered near the campsite, including a vertebrae, a femur, and several bone fragments. These skeletal remains, weathered by months of exposure, were carefully cataloged and sent for identification. Yet, even with these discoveries, much of Jordan's body remained unaccounted for. His skull and larger bones, such as his pelvis and ribcage, were missing. Cadaver dogs were brought in to aid in the search, combing through the wilderness in tight grid patterns. Despite their efforts, the results were frustratingly sparse. The scattered bones offered no definitive clues about how Jordan died or what may have happened to the rest of his remains. Investigators were left to speculate. Were the missing parts of his body carried off by animals, buried under debris, or lost in the vast wilderness? The absence of Jordan's skull was particularly troubling, as it could have provided critical evidence about his final moments. Even after weeks of intensive searching, the Boundary Waters revealed no more of its secrets. The partial recovery of Jordan's remains raised more questions than answers, leaving his family and investigators to wonder about the strange and tragic circumstances that had claimed his life. What force had left his campsite blood-soaked and body scattered? The silence of the wilderness offered no reply. The mystery of Jordan Grider's death is cloaked in speculation, with several theories attempting to explain what might have happened at his remote Boundary Waters campsite. Each idea carries pieces of the puzzle, but none provide a complete or satisfying answer. Some believe Jordan may have fallen victim to a wolf pack, given the tracks and scat found near his campsite. The idea is chilling, a seasoned outdoorsman taken by predators while sleeping in his hammock. However, experts quickly dismiss this possibility. Wolves are known to avoid humans, and attacks on people are exceedingly rare. More importantly, the scene lacked the hallmarks of a wolf attack. A struggle would have left the hammock and tarp shredded, and the blood-soaked campsite would have been far messier. Despite the evidence of wolves in the area, experts deemed it far more likely they scavenged Jordan's remains after his death rather than causing it. Another plausible theory suggests that Jordan may have succumbed to a tragic accident. Known for keeping his knives razor sharp, he often used them for shaving and whittling. Investigators speculated that he may have suffered a fatal cut, perhaps severing an artery. The blood-soaked hammock supports the idea that he bled out at the site. However, this theory also has significant flaws. None of the knives found at the scene had blood on them, and they were all neatly sheathed, casting doubt on the idea that a hurried or accidental injury occurred. Additionally, no wood shavings or other signs of whittling were found, suggest that Jordan hadn't been whittling when he died. The idea of foul play was considered but quickly ruled out by authorities. Jordan's campsite was in an incredibly remote location, far from trails and human activity. Investigators found no evidence to suggest another person was involved, no signs of a struggle or indication of violence, and no motive. The absence of any clear leads made this theory unlikely in the eyes of law enforcement. In the absence of a clear explanation, online sleuths have turned to more unconventional theories, speculating that Jordan might have fallen victim to something supernatural. Ideas range from a Wendigo, a mythical creature said to haunt remote forests, to a Sasquatch attack. The lack of visible signs of a struggle and the incomplete recovery of his remains fuel these theories. Could something otherworldly have targeted him? To believers, the remote wilderness, eerie circumstances, and unanswered questions leave room for such possibilities and theories. Each theory holds elements that seem to fit, yet none fully explain the strange details of Jordan's death. Was it nature's unpredictability, a tragic accident, or something more mysterious? The theories only deepen the puzzle, leaving us to wonder what truly happened to Jordan Grider in this unforgiving wilderness. In 2020, Jordan's case was officially closed. Despite months of investigation and the recovery of some remains, authorities were unable to determine a definitive cause of death. The wilderness had kept its secrets, leaving behind a mystery that still haunts those who knew him. Jordan's family remains divided on what might have happened. His mother, Rebecca, strongly believes he was attacked by wolves while he slept, pointing to the tracks and scat found near the campsite. She imagines her son, unaware of the danger, being taken by surprise in the dead of the night. To her, it is the most plausible explanation for the bloody scene and his missing remains. Others in his family, however, lean towards a tragic accident. They suspect that Jordan, known for his sharp knives and resourcefulness, may have fatally injured himself while shaving or performing some other routine task. Yet even this theory leaves nagging questions. Why were all the knives sheathed and clean? Why were there no signs of bandaging attempts or bloodied tools? The evidence remains as incomplete as Jordan's story. Whether nature, misfortune, or something unexplainable claimed him, the truth of what happened that October in the Boundary Waters may never be known. His family is left to piece together what they can, each holding on to their own version of what might have happened, as the mystery of his death endures. The story of Jordan Grinder is a sombering reminder of the dangers of isolation and the unpredictable nature of wilderness survival. Even the most experienced outdoorsmen can find themselves in the mercy of forces far beyond their control. In the vast expanse of the Boundary Waters, Jordan sought peace, solitude, and a connection to nature, but the wilderness had other plans. Despite months of searching, countless theories, and painstaking investigations, the truth about what happened to Jordan remains elusive. Was it a tragic accident, an animal attack, or something no one could explain or have anticipated? The answers lie buried in the cold, unforgiving wilderness, a place that guards its secrets well. As we reflect on Jordan's story, we are left with one haunting question. What really happened to Jordan Grinder that October night? The Boundary Waters isn't telling, and perhaps it never will.